Hi. Today we will discuss just about everything you need to know about 1099 NECs. This last tax season, I noticed an increase in clients receiving a 1099 NEC. Receiving a 1099 NEC form can be both exciting and daunting, especially if it's your first time receiving one. I will guide you through the necessary steps to take after receiving a 1099 NEC, helping you understand your tax obligations and how to handle the income reported on the form. We will review number one, what a 1099 NEC form is and who should receive one. Number two, how to report 1099 NEC income. Number three, deductible business expenses. And number four, record keeping tips. My name is Shavis Watkins. I work with home care business owners like you to help increase cash flow by 25% with organized accounting and financial strategies. Now, what is a 1099 NEC and who should receive one? A 1099 NEC form, also known as the Non-Employee Compensation Form, is a tax document used by businesses and individuals to report payments made to non-employees for services rendered. This form is typically issued to individuals who are not considered employees, but have provided services to a business or entity. So if you are a caregiver contracted through a home care agency, a traveling nurse, a real estate agent, Uber driver, the list can go on and on. So basically, in these cases, the payer has determined that an employer employee relationship doesn't exist. A lot of individuals feel like they have to have a registered or incorporated business to receive a 1099 NEC. This is not the case. You do not necessarily have to have a business for payments for your services to be reported on a Form 1099 NEC. You may simply perform services as a non-employee. Now let's determine if the activities you performed for this payer is a trade or business. You're in a self-employed trade or business if your primary purpose is to make a profit and your activity is regular and continuous. Now let's note that this is the self-employed trade or business definition defined by the IRS. The reason for pointing this out is because you could have received payments for sporadic activities or a hobby. If this is the case, you're not self-employed. Hobbies are also taxed, just in a different way than if you are self-employed. This leads me to my next topic. How is 1099 NEC income reported? As mentioned before, the type of income reported on the 1099 NEC, whether it is a self-employed income, income from a hobby, or income from sporadic or other activities, determines how it will be reported on your federal income tax return. The type of non-employment compensation that we will discuss will not require a separate tax return. It will be reported on a schedule that is located within your normal 1040 federal tax return and not an outside return that has to flow through to your 1040 return. Now, the rules are a little different when we start talking about incorporated businesses and partnerships. But for this discussion, we are keeping it on a non-partnership and a non-incorporated business level. With that being said, let's start with self-employment income. Self-employment income is reported on a Schedule C. That is a schedule within your 1040 tax return. Self-employment tax is a big one and something you should consider when determining if you want to receive earned income as an independent contractor. Self-employment income is subject to both income tax and self-employment tax. Let's start with self-employment tax because that is what we all hear about the most. The self-employment tax rate is 15.3% of net self-employment income. That is Social Security tax of 12.4% and Medicare tax of 2.9%. I know this is a lot, but let me add a little bit of cushion to my self-employed family. The Social Security tax that you put in is going towards your retirement. If working for a company as an employee and not an independent contractor, you would still be responsible for half of the Social Security and Medicare taxes, and your employer will be responsible for the other half. 6.2% of your Social Security and 1.45% of your Medicare. Something to think about if you are considering hiring employees for your company in the future. If you have employees, not contractors, employees, your company will have payroll tax expenses. Your company will have Social Security, Medicare, SUDA, and FUTA expenses. Okay, on to income tax. I probably should have started with the income tax after all of that. Self-employment income is also taxed at the individual's marginal tax rate, which ranges from 10% to 37% based on your income level. Your self-employment income is revenue less expenses. This will be the bottom line of your profit and loss statement. We will get into deductions later, but let me let you in on a secret. If your bottom line is less than $400 or your business is operating at a loss, no self-employment or income tax is calculated. But as a business owner, you should be working to generate a profit. Remember, that is the self-employed trade or business definition. Your primary purpose is to make a profit. Now, hobby income is generally subject to income tax at the individual's marginal tax rate, but it is not subject to self-employment tax. Now, let's talk about deductible business expenses. This is the fun stuff. The good thing about being a recipient of a 1099 NEC is that you are considered self-employed for tax purposes. Now, this means you can deduct various business-related expenses on your tax return, which in turn lowers your taxable income. Something to consider is that even though you can deduct business expenses to lower your taxable income, remember you are in business to generate a profit. In order for the business expenses to be deductible, they must be ordinary and necessary. The expenses must also be directly related to your business. It is important to separate personal expenses from business expenses. Do not commingle. Please do not commingle. Understanding the categories of deductible business expenses helps ensure you are maximizing your deductions, which helps lower your tax liability. I will go over some of the common categories. If you have an office, you can deduct office expenses. This can include supplies, equipment, rent. You can also deduct professional services. This will be fees paid to your accountant, even fees paid to your tax professional are deductible. You can also deduct marketing and advertising. Mileage is a good one. Also, your phone. We all use our phone when conducting business. There are a ton of expenses you can deduct as long as it is ordinary and necessary for your business. This leads me to the last thing I will discuss, and that is record keeping. Yes, keeping good organized records. I love organizing financial records. If you need help in this area, please contact me. I would love to help you get your financial records organized. Now, to take full advantage of the deductions previously mentioned, it's crucial to keep detailed and accurate records of all business related expenses. Good record keeping ensures that you can substantiate your deductions in the event of an IRS audit and help you track your business's financial performance. Knowing your business's financial performance is important when it comes time to apply for a business loan or when it is time to purchase an asset like a truck for your trucking company or a home for your home care business. Some tips for maintaining detailed records include keeping all receipts, invoices, and proof of payments for any business expenses. Maintaining a logbook for expenses such as mileage, travel, and noting the purpose of each trip. There are a lot of available apps that are specifically for tracking mileage. Accounting softwares use accounting software to organize and categorize expenses. QuickBooks is a good one for this. They currently have a $10 per month subscription specifically for freelancers. I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor, and if you contact me directly, I will be able to get you set up. Bank statements. Separate your business and personal finances by using a dedicated business bank account and credit card. Now, by delegating, tracking, and deducting these expenses, you can effectively lower your taxable income and keep more of your hard-earned money. By understanding how to handle the Form 1099 NEC and reporting the income accurately, recipients can fulfill their tax obligations and minimize the risk of error or audits. Remember, it's always better to seek guidance if you're unsure about any aspect of your tax responsibilities. If you need assistance with organizing your business records or how to understand your company's financial position, please contact me. I'm Shavis Watkins. I have a degree in accounting and have worked as an accountant, as an auditor. Now I am working with business owners like you to organize and understand their business finances so they can pay less in taxes, yet still be in the position to grow and receive the loan or asset for their business. I hope this information was helpful, and I look forward to working with you. My contact information will be in the description. Thank you, and may God bless.